Hi everyone, it's Louisa, you're watching Dior. Today we'll talk about application, recruitment, onboarding process and also career manager at Christian Dior Couture. And if you ever wondered how to integrate the Maison and you want to have insider tips to succeed in your first steps, even in your first years, you are in the right place. And today I welcome Ibtissem, Mathieu and Nathan to discuss about it. Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hi everyone. How are you?
Good, and you?
Good.
Fine, I'm really good. I'm really happy to be here with you three to talk about all those subjects. First of all, let me introduce you. Ibtissem, you are Global Talent Manager, Early Career Professional, and you will reveal your HR tips. Mathieu, you are International Client Activation Manager, and you will give us your manager piece of advice. And Nathan, you are Product Development, so you will share with us your experience as an intern. But first, we would like to know more about you. So can you pitch your own career path in 1 minute? Ibtissem?
Yes, definitely.
Do you want to start?
Yes, please. So first of all, hi everyone. Very nice and happy to be here today. So I started my career 8 years ago in the Middle East with Richemont as a manager for the recruitment for the region. And then I had the chance and the privilege to join Christian Dior as an HR manager for the region. And recently I moved back to Paris 1 year ago to join the corporate talent team when I'm in charge of and leading the early career professional department.
Merci Ibtissem and welcome to Paris.
Thank you.
Mathieu, do you want to be the next?
Yes, sure. So I started 9 years ago at Dior as an intern. I was in charge of e-service topics within the digital department. Then I moved to the retail training department. And I helped the team to develop all the digital learning approach. And after 7 years of big project and some successes, I moved to my third job within Dior, which is the client activation manager within the CRM team. And I'm dealing on all the newsletter, gift, Dior magazine, and other client activation topics.
Thank you, Mathieu. Nathan, do you want to share your career path?
Yeah, sure. So hello, everyone. I'm doing an internship at Dior in product development. So I'll try to quickly present my background. I study economy, then marketing and communication, like a general academic track. And then after my master, I decided to pursue my study for a year at Institut Français de la Mode into a more fashion-oriented degree, where I had the opportunity to meet many experts from the industry, to visit many factories and to take part into a few craftsmanship programs. And with all this, I could really experience and face the operational strikes of the industry, and that's what really convinced me to work closer to the product.
All right.
In the future. So I had a previous experience at Saint Laurent in product development for the women's wear collection, and since last September, I joined Dior as a product developer assistant for a 6 months internship, and I'm working on the menswear collection for the knitwear and jersey category. So yeah.
Well, congratulations to each of you.
Thank you.
You pitched your own career path in less than 1 minute. Before talking concretely on how to join the Maison, Ibtissem, do you want to say a few words on Christian Dior Couture?
Okay, well, Christian Dior, it's a fashion house. We are a haute couture maison with more than 8,000 employees globally. We have a network of 200 boutiques worldwide. So we are more a retail and luxury, I would say, company.
Thank you, Ibtissem. How to integrate the Maison, that's what we're going to talk about in Join. Ibtissem, are there any prerequisites to join the Maison?
I would say that what is important and what we are looking for at Dior is really people passionate about the luxury sector and the universe and the legacy that Mr. Christian Dior unfaces in the world. So this is really primarily what we are looking for, and also people who are passionate about our métier.
And today you offer 6 months internship, right?
Yes, we do have more than 300 offers right now on our Dior website for all the students if they want to join us. So feel free to visit us and apply online.
To join us.
And to precise it, in terms of prerequisite, do they need to speak French and English?
Ideally, French is a must, but English also would be it's a must. I mean, English and French are must.
And to precise it, it will start in July, this July 2022?
Exactly. We're going to start like the new internship in July, and we are currently looking for people to start in July.
And Speaking about recruitment, what about the complete process of recruitment, Ibtissam?
So basically, we have all our offers right now published on our JER website. So the first idea is we have a team of recruiters who are screening all the applications online based on the requirement that we are looking for. So the team is reviewing all the application. You will receive, I mean, if your profile is suitable, you will be shortlisted for a first interview with the recruiter. Based on that, we will share your application with the hiring manager, and that will follow the second interview. The recruiter and the hiring manager will have a debrief based on the interview that you had, and if your profile is suitable, we will extend an offer to you.
Just to precise, the website is on dior.com/careers.
Exactly.
Maybe this HR process, Nathan, remind you some memories. So I'd like to have your point of view of it. What makes the difference on a CV? To have concrete examples regarding your experience. How did you build your own CV? What are your tips?
When I built my own CV, I tried to really go for a targeted approach, meaning I tried to orient the contents of my CV toward product development position I was applying for. I really tried to be as clear as possible, and I went for bullet points. I tried to use like the adequate wording, and like try to just make sure not to overwhelm the person who would read my CV in the end. And yeah, also work on the aesthetic, try to be clear. And
did you use bullet point, for instance?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because I think it's one of the best way to be clear and to like show in a suitable way what led you to apply for a specific position. So
why you suit for the job. You also told me you need to be consistent.
Yeah, I do think you need to be consistent. It means because on one hand your CV must be an open door for the recruiter, as he or she will need to project yourself into like the next environment you're seeking for. But on the other hand, you also need to show your preferences and to show the recruiter that you really know what you want to do. So I think it needs to be a subtle mix between these two aspects. And I think it's also important not to mass send CVs, especially when you're applying into the same company.
Sure. I agree with Nathan completely.
And Ibtissam, earlier you talked about soft skills, but how a candidate can know which soft skills and hard skills are important in the Maison?
So I would say, and my advice is really we are looking for people who are really passionate. I mean, you need to be passionate about luxury and our universe to be able to work with us, to have a sense of curiosity, because it's something that is quite important. I would say in general, as a human, as a HR perspective, it's a mix between heritage and innovation, and also about a mix between excellence and agility.
And you also told me this is important to have people-oriented profile.
Exactly. Yes, definitely. We need to put really people because people are in the center of our organization.
But Mathieu, when we were preparing that show, you told me we can't have all those commitment, all those criteria for 6 months internship.
I'm totally agree with you, Ibti, but at the end, as we are talking about a 6 months period, for me, we need to, this is the target, this is what we want to have, but at the end, it will be more a fit with the profile. And for me, when I do interviews, at the end, I just want to have the right profile with all the prerequisites in terms of skills, for sure, but at the end, he or she needs to fit with my team and with the daily job.
But do you agree that passion is a must?
Yes, you need to be passionate to do your job at the end of the day.
And Mathieu, as a manager, how to prepare the job interview? What are your tips?
So first, I will receive a lot of CVs, a lot of resumes from a human resources team. I will look into it, I will prepare some questions, I will have a look on the previous experiences and also on the studies. Maybe on some soft skills, hard skills and hobbies. But for me, it will be more how to prepare the discussion with the profile, because if I have the profile in interviews, for me, the first step is already done by human resources. So at the end, all the profile can have the job. So it will be more in terms of fit and mindset and a way of thinking, and
is it important
more on the human touch.
And is it important to know about the last show, for instance?
Yes, for me it's important to have the curiosity about the brand, to be aware about all the different, not strategy, but maybe communication, product, novelties. At the end, if you want to apply at Dior, you need to be a minimum aware about Dior. So and not just the company, but...
So brand awareness is really important, and to know the universe too. But you also told me, and I wrote it, you told me to the candidates, you have a message, do not say everything is clear for me.
Yeah,
this is not.
For me, when you have this interview with a profile, it's really a true discussion between the manager and the candidate. And for me, the discussion needs to be in both ways. And at the end, if you don't have any question, for me, it's like, okay, but you are not really interested by the job. And even if you don't have any question, I think it's important to just find something, to ask something. Even if you don't really care about it, it will show your involvement in the
process, in the discussion. And a little point on the dress code.
For me, you need to be confident with yourself. So if you put a suit for the interviews and at the end, when you will arrive on the Monday morning and you are not in a suit and you are in different way, I will say, okay, but this is not the profile I interviewed. So for me, you need to be yourself. So you need to be chic, effortless, etc.
Smart, casual, and fashion a little bit. But, so your tips is be consistent.
Yes.
Yes.
Like the CV recommended by Nathan. Nathan, how did you prepare your job interview?
Well, first I'm really trained to present myself because I think this is really not the easiest part because you might not be used to it, and you really need to give life to your CV and to show like strategy link between the job and your background, like academic background and previous experience. Read again and again the job description because that's the best base you can have for the job interview, and really like clearly identify the mission that you will be asked to do to show the recruiter that you are aware of what will be asked from you.
Did you give concrete examples of your past experiences?
Yeah. I really focused on some like key experiences I had which I knew would be relevant because the goal was not like for me to speak about my whole life, but more to focus on like key experiences and not to overwhelm the recruiter, but I really try to do that focus.
And to prepare your job interview, did you go through social media, through the website?
I think that's really important, as Macha said. And you really need to be aware of the history, the values of the Maison. And through social media, website, or talking to people who work there, who have worked there, is really important because like in the end, like I don't think the recruiter like will test your knowledge, but it's more a proof of interest. So it's really important. And I also agree on the fact that you need to ask questions, and it's better to. It can be really useful to prepare them before if you have some questions or remarks you want to prepare, because during job interview you might be a bit stressed, so you might not find the right words, and I think just be polite and professional on the day.
Ibtissam, I see that you agree with Nathan. What are your...
Yes, quite a lot. I think it's super important to have a genuine approach, and the interest is important at the end, to really show this interest and to show that it makes sense, and explaining the reason why we are applying, there is a sense behind it.
And in that process, is there a business case to prepare at some point?
I would say that it depends from case to case, based on the technical aspect of the job. Some manager can require some exercise, technical exercise, Excel more exercise, I would say.
And Mathieu, in your department, you ask for a technical test, right?
Yes, we will do on Excel and PowerPoint. Because to be honest, we are using it every day. They are part of our very daily life. And for me, it's not. I don't want to ask doing complicated formula and so on. But I just want to be sure that you will be okay to use it every day. You know what to do with raw data and figures. And if I talk more about PowerPoint we are a luxury brand, so even for a little project or to present something, we need to do slides. Everything is on slides, and if you are not, everybody can use PowerPoint, but if you are not, or if you don't know how to do it in a nice way, it will be a waste of time for everyone, and it will be maybe too challenging for you. So for me, it will be the 2 tests.
So can they prepare themselves to those tests?
Yeah. And
how? We want to know.
How? I think that they need to be curious. They need to maybe to discuss with other interns. If you want to learn about Excel, you can look a lot. You can watch a lot of videos on YouTube on how to do this kind of functionalities. And for the graphic side, I think you just need to have an interest.
You also told me they have to be authentic.
Yeah.
And there is no good and bad answer. That's really important.
Yes.
That point, I think, for you. Are you rating for a specific attitude, Mathieu? Because you tell me something really important. You tell me a yes, but attitude can be complicated for me.
Yes. For me, when we talk about authenticity, it's like it's okay to not have the answer at the end. It's okay to say no, I don't know, or no, maybe I feel not confident with this question or exercise. But the yes but no attitude for me is like you are not listening to understand, but you are here just to prove something or to be maybe to
just give your own point of view, not here to learn.
Yes? And for me, you are an intern, so you have a lot of things to learn, and it's the same for me. I'm learning every day, but having this attitude during the interview, for me, it's not the best way to promote yourself with your future manager.
Because the job interview can be quite challenging, so I was wondering how to write your apprehension. Nathan, maybe, do you recommend to tell the recruiter, for instance?
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing that, transparency first, and I don't think that's something you need to hide because, obviously you're really stressed, and job interview are really stressful, so the recruiter already feel that, so there's no need to tell it. But instead, I think you should focus on how to manage with your anxiety, with your stress, and to really focus on what you're saying. Like for me, what really helped is to go for short sentences and to really go straight to the point, to try to have like a calm voice, just like to show the recruiter that at least I'm trying not to be too stressed. And what also helped me is sometimes, of course, you ask yourself the question, what I can offer to the company, but on the other end is also what can the company offer to you. And this switching position sometimes can help, like being more relaxed during the interview.
True.
Ibtissam, I can see your smile from here.
Yes.
So what are your recommendations where someone can feel nervous or stressed during the job interview? Be conversational, for instance?
Yes, I believe it's super important to keep in mind that it's a conversation. And what is important also, I would say, is really to create the connection. So really feeling comfortable speaking, and really at the end, we cannot hide ourselves. So let's be transparent about who we are and what we want to offer and what the other also is able to offer us. So just to have this transparency and conversation to make it efficient.
Don't read your notes?
No, definitely no. Definitely, this I will really recommend to never do it because it really doesn't help the connection between the two parts.
What about your
point? It's not authentic.
Yeah? Mathieu, what about your point of view on that point?
I'm agree. For me, at the end, it's a both-side contract, so it's important for the candidate to know what he or she is looking for during this internship, not only the company, but also what he can learn in terms of on the job, but also on the human side. And for me, the interview is really the moment to ask everything about the job, the department, the manager, everything you need to know. And at the end, the candidate will sign for 6 months, so he or she needs to really want to do it.
And I guess that the fit with the team is important too.
Yes.
And if a candidate does not have the answer to one of your questions, what should he do?
For me, it's okay. It's okay to say no, and I prefer to have a no and an authentic no. But if you can explain why you don't have the answer, I don't know because it's totally new. I never did that. I prefer to have this answer instead of, yeah, I can do it, I know. And then during the job, okay, but I'm sorry, but I lie and I don't know how to do it. And for me, on all the professional environment, everything is based on the trust. So if you create something during the interviews and then in the daily life, in the job life, you have this kind of lack of trust and you understand that there is some point, some lies, I think it's difficult to create something.
Yes, and I guess to evolve in the company. Ibtisam, you told me when I say, how can the candidate can do when he doesn't have the answer to one of your questions, you told me, he can just ask me, where can I find the answer?
Exactly, it's important. I mean, we are not supposed to know all the answers, but the most important is just to have the humility to ask, like, what can I do and how I can find the answer, basically.
And how can we talk about a bad experience?
I would say that the most important is what you learn from it. So you can speak and be transparent about your failure or what was difficult for you, but the most important is really if you are able to take a step back and to be able to share with us what was the key learning and what did you learn and how did you improve based on this experience.
They can give concrete examples?
Yes. It can be very interesting to have a concrete example about what happened and from this experience, what has been the key learning.
And as we are here to talk about the integration in Christian Dior Couture, we are going to talk about the onboarding process. Nathan, what struck you the most during your onboarding process? Do you remember?
Well, but yeah, I remember. It was not that long ago.
Yeah.
But well, to be honest, my onboarding process was really smooth and natural. I mean, all like team members, whether it was my manager, my colleague, or the HR, they all have been really welcoming and supportive of my arrival. So what I really appreciate also was that time was really made for me to adapt to this new work environment, and I really had time to observe. So that's really something I appreciate, to take this time for me and to have like a gradual onboarding process.
And Ibtisam, how are the first few days, few weeks for the trainees?
So we have at Dior a really clear career path for the integration of our interns with an interns day that we are organizing for all of them to really integrate them to the organization, but also it's the role of the manager to integrate them to the team and to make sure that they are meeting all the different team members to really feel, to welcome them and to make sure that they are really feeling integrated to the organization. We have created also the young community. So it's based on really all the interns are meeting together and making like some kind of connection together. They have also in their career path the opportunity to meet with their manager to have like a discussion for an evaluation after mid pass, I would say. And after that, we will meet with them, all my team, and we will make sure that really we follow up with them in their integration and in their professional project plan.
And you also told me about intern socials events.
Yes, we do quite a lot. We have lunch and learn, and also fashion classes that we organize for all our interns to really make sure that, given the situation with COVID, we really try to make sure that they can meet digitally somehow to reinforce the link.
And when they are completely integrated, Mathieu, what are your recommendations for understanding how the company works?
So I think with the sanitary situation, it's a bit more complicated, but for me it's important to create link with co-workers inside the department, but also in other departments. So my recommendation for my interns is that even if we are doing a lot of Teams and video meeting, maybe at the end you can send a short text, propose to take a coffee, to have a lunch, just to take the 5 minutes that we had before the meeting when we were in a physically environment, and to have this small talk and to create the link. For me it's really important, and at the end it will help in all the different steps of the project and during the internship to know someone more than just during a meeting.
And Nathan, did you do small talk, virtual coffee?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because it's not always easy during like COVID time, but I also think that like the social interaction you can have with your coworkers are really important, and they do not stop during office hour. And it's during lunch breaks or after work that you really get to know your colleagues, and you have broader view of the company functioning. So yeah, I think like small talks are really important.
Yeah. Is it also the time for you to build your own network during the few weeks?
Yeah, I mean, it can be, but also, I mean, if you show interest into what people do and they can feel that you are honest, then it can work. But like the goal is just, it's not just to create your network, but to really discover what they do. So.
I would say, like, as part, as the intern journey, it's important beyond the responsibility of the job to really understand the ecosystem of the house and where they are. It's super important to give your time, some time to understand who are your colleagues, how does it work, what is the environment, to understand the code. It's super key for the success of your internship.
And to have an example on how you can grow at Christian Dior Couture, Nathan, how has your job evolved since you joined the company?
Well when I joined Dior as product developer assistant, so my role is really to assist and support the product developer Louise on her daily tasks. So generally speaking, I'm helping her following up the development of the knitwear and jersey pieces, from prototyping to sampling until the final presentation. So, but from this assisting role, I got to gain some autonomy on some mission, and my manager let me the lead on some project. So I could, for example, speak directly to external supplier and lead a project from the really beginning to the end, and to present the result of my work. So that really helped me in my other mission as well, and being more proactive. So. Like I could feel an evolution. Yeah.
And did this happen naturally or on your initiative? What would you say?
Well, I think it's always both, because like during the first interview I had with my manager, she shared her will to help me grow during my internship. But of course, it's not something I could take for granted, and I needed to show her I wanted more and to prove my involvement. So I needed to appropriate my mission and the process first, like before wanted more mission. But I also think that you really need to keep in mind that sometimes you might feel a bit frustrated. So you have only 6 months to prove and to improve. So,
but you know what, I would just add about what Mathieu said earlier, what was super relevant. At the end, is based really on trust. Everything is based on trust. If you are really able to give more, so the manager will be able to share with you more as well. But everything is based on trust and transparency.
So transparency based on communication with your manager. Nathan, what were the challenges you had to face since the beginning of your internship?
Well, what was really challenging at first was the technicity of the product category, because even though I had a previous experience in product development, working on knitwear and jersey was really different from what I experienced before. So, and as in this position, you're always in contact with experts who really master their work, whether you're talking with the studio, people from the atelier, or external supplier. You really want to be like the most relevant possible at all time. And at first it was really challenging for me to reach this level of technicity, and this is something I'm really working hard on. But
so
yeah,
what did you do concretely? You learn every day, you ask more?
Yeah, I mean, like over the time, and I asked a lot of questions, and I asked my manager to show me the product, to explain to me the techniques, and yeah, with a lot of curiosity, I got to gain some more knowledge. But of course, it's like work in progress, so I still have a lot to learn. But I could feel that, yeah, I got some new knowledge. But
yeah, and regarding what you're saying, because we're here to give concrete tips to your future colleagues, Mathieu, I'd like to know, if you do not feel well, if you're too busy, if you feel lost, what do you do?
I take 5 minutes off. No, concretely, I take a coffee, I go outside, and I think it's important to take some time for us just to breathe and to slow down the pressure. We are under pressure, but pressure is good in a way. We just need to know how we have to manage it. And it's okay to just take 5 minutes for yourself, And when you are back at the office, in front of your desk, you can prioritize, and maybe if you need to discuss some point with du coup your top manager, sorry, I will do it. But sometimes it's just okay to
let it go.
To relax, to let it go. As we're speaking about emotion, Nathan, would you do things differently over the time since the beginning of your internship?
Well, like I think when you're taking a new position in a company, it leads you to face like new problematics like you cannot have anticipated before, and so it leads you to make mistakes. But then to answer to your question, for sure, there's many things I would have done differently because I know today I can do different. But looking back, I think it's important to act like a professional, as sometimes you need to take action before and to think afterwards on what worked and what didn't in order to do like better the next time. So I think it's more important to, like, rather than pointing out your mistakes, it's just to show your capacity to adapt and react in some challenging situation. So,
and to learn also, to learn from what you did and and I think your manager and your team can understand that as an intern, like you need to learn. So it's normal to make mistakes, but it's not the mistake that is important. It is trying not to do the same mistake twice and to learn from it.
Exactly, and not to be afraid to ask questions when we don't know. It's super important to have the humility to say sometimes, but I don't know, and ask questions to make it happen, no matter what.
And that's beautiful messages to end that show. Few words on the application. Nathan, you put your CV through the traditional way, through dior.com/careers, right?
Yeah, I went for the classic way. I applied on the LVMH platform, and then about 5 days after, I got a feedback from the HR to have a first contact to present me more about the mission and to know if I was still interested. So then I had another interview with my manager, so the product developer I would be working with, Louise, to introduce ourselves, and she explained me more about the mission and what she expected from me. And after that, I had a second interview with the manager of the whole team, Laetitia, who I introduced myself to her, and she really presented me the general structure. And after it was super quick, super efficient, because I got an answer in the first day saying I was accepted for the position. So.
Well done, apparently you succeed. Mathieu, I know that you'd like to speak about the LinkedIn request.
Yes, just one comment. I receive a lot of messages, and I think it's a great tool to discuss with a manager and maybe to learn more in details about the operational side of the job. But just one recommendation is like LinkedIn is not a social network at the end. So I think you need to stay like in a professional way when you are talking, when you are asking questions, because at the end you will never know if the contacted people will be your future manager.
Yes, will be the good one. As an old intern, do you have a last piece of advice?
But I think after 9 years within the company, I think it's a good moment to apply. There is a lot of new challenges, a lot of projects coming soon, and it's a very good company.
I say all, but I have to say previous. This is more precise. If you say my last word?
Yes, and Mathieu is the best example of the career path of Dior, because he started as an apprentice and he grew in different roles. So we are happy to have him today also to share his experience and really to be inspiring for you, because you know he is really the best example to see what is the career and what looks a career path at Dior.
Thank you, Ibtissem. Nathan, maybe you'd like to say a last thing?
I don't know what to add. Yeah.
That's complete.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to thank the three of you for sharing your experience, giving tips to students, and also share the backstage of the Maison Christian Dior Couture. At home, if you want to apply, you just go directly to the dior.com/careers website or jobteaser.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Louisa.
Thank you.
And at home, as usual, see you very soon for a new live.
Bye. See you.